and this is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome, one and all. Little lukewarm coffee there, but that's okay. Very cold morning, 62 degrees in Florida. I could use some piping hot coffee, but lukewarm I'll take because I only drink it for the caffeine anyway. All right, I want to talk about a few things. And, and your thoughts certainly are welcome in the chat. Um, Tucker Carlson dropped this video that's going semi viral over the weekend where he says he doesn't know anyone in this country who's been um, killed by Muslims since 9/11. Now, he may not know anyone personally, but is he mincing words here, or is he in complete denial? I mean, we remember these two young people that were engaged that worked at the Israeli embassy that were murdered this year by an Islamist, the National Guardsmen that were attacked in D.C. One of them was killed. That was a Muslim. I mean, there's a long list of what's going on, in this country. So, what's up with Tucker Carlson? And I know a lot of people are saying he's getting paid from Qatar and all this stuff. And maybe there's something going on here. And I want to talk a little bit about it, this rise of anti-Semitism. And then look, you have Marjorie Taylor Greene, who took a break while she is down in Costa Rica with Brian Glenn and her family, taking beach photographs that are going all over the internet, to support Tucker Carlson and his bizarre statements on Muslims. And, Tucker Carlson is literally the spokesperson for the Muslim Anti-Defamation League, right? I mean, that's what the way he's talking. It's insane. So what do you think is going on here? I have some ideas, and I'm going to share them with you. I do believe that Tucker Carlson is deep state. His dad was a lifelong, big-time CIA guy, okay? Big-time CIA guy. But Tucker even admits that himself, although he denied knowing about it until his father passed away. That's BS, And I realized that he was a deep state CIA guy when he interviewed Putin, and he said, "Oh, you applied for the CIA, but they didn't take you." Yeah, right. He was a legacy through his father. So there's a big part of it is that. That doesn't mean he's not taking money, okay? But a big part of it is that. And there's many things going on in different angles, but basically Tucker Carlson is working for the same people that the seditious six are working for. Remember the Congress people that put out that video trying to cause a military uprising? Same people, and they put a lot of heavy cream there on the top of the coffee, guys. So the purpose of that from the deep state is to cause division in this country among the MAGA movement, and they've been successful, And the operation really began with the assassination of Charlie Kirk, because Charlie Kirk was the gatekeeper of all of these big mouth narcissistic influencers, the Candace Owens types, and he kept everybody in check. And he had this great youth movement that gave Trump a big leg up in his reelection. And they served two purposes when they assassinated Charlie Kirk. One of them is they've done quite possibly damage that is beyond repair to Turning Point USA and their movement to continue to red pill young people. That's one purpose. But the other one is the division in MAGA. You know, they have tried everything. They've tried everything to stop Trump, and they've not been able to. So now they're taking their goal of stopping Trump to destroying the movement itself, the MAGA movement. And we got to be honest here. They have done tremendous amounts of damage to our activist movement, our ground game, right? With the loss of Charlie and these narcissistic influencers that are at each other's throat. Even, I mean, look at this with Mark Levin going after Jack Posobiec. Jack Posobiec took a picture with this guy. I don't, you know, that guy he took a picture with. I mean, I didn't know who he was or what the T-shirt represented. I don't know if Jack Posobiec did or not, but you know, people. I meet listeners all the time out and about, and they'll take a picture with me. I don't know who they are. I don't do a background check. If they got a T-shirt on, I don't even notice and look at it. Well, hold on a second. I can't take a selfie with you. What's your name? Let me do a background check and peruse your social media. And you have a logo on your T-shirt. Let me do a scan on that and see if I can find out what that means before we take. You just take the picture. And Mark Levin is tearing up Posobiec. These people are just so self-destructive. Okay, and at this upper celebrity level of our conservative influencer movement, this is all deep state activity. Okay. That's it, you know, and so there's more than one thing going on at the same time, and Tucker Carlson's involved in both of the big things. One, the MAGA divide, and if you remember how much credit was given when Trump won re-election to this second term to the online space, right? Podcasters, online influencers, and they've done tremendous amounts of division and damage to all of that at that level. No doubt about it. And I'm sure you guys agree. And Tucker's a part of that. He's one of the biggest mouths calling it. He should be forever banned from Turning Point USA events. And some of the others should as well, including Megyn Kelly. But Tucker's working with two angles. There's that, right? Destroying the MAGA movement, destroying Turning Point, destroying the unity that the conservative MAGA influencers have. But he's also in bed with the Muslims. There's a massive Muslim takeover going on in this country. We have a Muslim mayor of New York City. And those of you that are younger, you know, who don't remember 9/11, you know, I was on the air then. I was on the air when 9/11 happened. If I would have gone on the air on September 12th, or even September 11th a year later, and told you, in 2026, a Muslim man is going to be sworn in as mayor of New York City, you would have all thought I was nuts. But here we have it. And if you look at that incredible reporting that Nick Shirley did, yeah, they were Somalians that he uncovered, but they're Muslims too. So Tucker is working on two different fronts here to stop the MAGA movement. And we really need 8 more years of Trump after this term. We need 2 more terms of Trump. There's too much going on. Pam Bondi, what the hell is she doing? Is she obstructing, or is she just a Barbie who doesn't know what's going on? I don't know. But there's big problems in this country. And the deep state, all they care about is getting back in control. Because they're not in control now. And they view the MAGA movement, getting the MAGA movement out of power is the way for them to get back in power. So that's what's going on here. I mean, it's obvious, you know, and this infighting with these conservative influencers. And I'm throwing Mark Levin into that. I don't know the story behind Jack Posobiec taking a picture with this anti-Semitic guy, but, part of the division tactic is their spreading of anti-Semitism and Muslim victimhood that Tucker and others are doing, like Candace Owens. And anti-Semitism is becoming mainstream in this country, and it's part of, this is a textbook deep state operation to cause division, and they've caused multiple divisions, and it's not good. We've got to get control of it, and these people, they've got big supporters and big money behind them. Welcome, everyone. If you're new to my channel, my name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe if you are new. And do you guys agree with my thesis here so far? Yes, or give me a yes or no on that. I know you can see the steam coming out, but this is very lukewarm coffee. It's we have the greatest conservative movement since Lincoln led the Republican Party to freeing the slaves during the Civil War. I mean, this is just an amazing conservative movement we have. We had such amazing amounts of unity, and it all went down the tubes when they assassinated Charlie Kirk. That's it. And it's complete chaos. And you guys, if you could, I'm 100% independent. I know I'm on a bunch of radio stations and all. I have no backing. I've got no marketing. My goal in 2026 is Trump midterm victories. Trump midterm victories. We need more MAGA House members, more MAGA senators, MAGA governors, MAGA state senators, MAGA state reps, MAGA city commissioners, MAGA school board members. That's all my goal is. My goal isn't, these narcissistic lunatics that are destroying our great movement. So not only make sure that you subscribe, if you could take my videos and share them on all your social media and get your friends to subscribe to my channel, because that's what I'm dedicated to. And I've had it with these people. I've had it, and there's a lot of self-destruction going on too. I was talking a couple weeks ago when Mark Levin acted like an idiot at that event with the president for Hanukkah. And some people gave me a hard time. Oh, he's friends with Trump. No, Mark Levin is not President Trump's friend. The way he behaved at that Hanukkah event with the president was just stupid and very, very self-important of himself. And then this attack that he went on against Jack Posobiec. I mean, Jack Posobiec, I don't know the story of Jack Posobiec and that selfie with that guy. I have no idea. I don't know if he knew who he was or what the T-shirt meant or anything. But I saw Jack Posobiec at Turning Point USA on stage, in particular when he and Benny Johnson were up there with that nice grandma that was harassed by that liberal lunatic, the Target woman with the Charlie Kirk shirt on, and he did a damn good job. And we cannot allow these people to destroy this movement. President Trump took a bullet for this movement. They tried to kill him twice. They shot him once, tried to put him in prison. And you know what? When he's out of office, they're going to be harassing him and his whole family forever. Kai Trump, you see, my God, they're going to be harassing her for the rest of her life. Barron Trump. They're never going to leave the Trump family alone. President Trump and his family have sacrificed so much for this movement, and we got these self-important, narcissistic jerks, and some of them, like Tucker. By the way, do you guys agree with me that Tucker Carlson's a Fed? That doesn't mean he's not taking money from Qatar. I don't know about that. I hope some documents come out to prove all that. But, you can be a Fed and take money from the Islamic world at the same time, right? One doesn't cancel out the other. My meds are right here, my venti hot blonde Americano. It's like room temperature coffee, but I don't care. I'll probably get it down quicker because I don't have to wait for it to cool off. Make sure you subscribe. Oh, man, I tell you. And, this work that Nick Shirley did, I did a podcast on Friday about this where I broke it down and went through the highlights and shared my thoughts. Make sure you check that out on the channel here. Nick Shirley's in the thumbnail, running away from the angry mob of Somalis. And I saw that Somalia is going to be running the National Security Council. What the heck? Yeah, Newsom 2028. That's a great candidate for you Democrats. Run him. Run him. So here's the question. Is Tucker Carlson a Fed, yes or no? Is Tucker Carlson a Fed, yes or no? I say yes. Yes or no? Is Tucker Carlson a Fed? I may have to mute the mic. The delivery driver's coming up for this deli a few doors down, and depending on which driver it is, they blast music. Look at all those yeses. Yeah. Yeah. It's becoming more and more common thinking that he's a Fed. Yeah. Well, you can be a Fed and a snake, and most Feds are snakes. No question. You'd be sleepy, too, if you worked 20 hours a day running the world. Zelensky's supposed to come to Mar-a-Lago today. I'm curious when the sun comes up if I'm going to see, because I live, I live not too far from Mar-a-Lago, and I'm curious to see what the airspace is like today. If we see any, I saw some, Friday there were some, and Saturday there were some big old planes flying around that don't normally fly around. I'm curious if we get any military aircraft flying over today. Oh, I don't hear the music. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. It would be nice. Zelensky blew it. When he blew it. Ukraine has lost the war. It's lost. It's unwinnable. He screwed up Zelensky, right? President Trump had the whole war over, had a great peace agreement, and all Zelensky had to do was sign that mineral deal with the United States. He said he would do it, and then he came to the White House and wouldn't do it. And President Trump, of course Russia's going to keep some of the territory they gained, but if we had those mineral contracts, President Trump was going to send American companies over there. American workers would be moving there with their families, including their children, and it would be a civilian DMZ against Russian aggression. And Zelensky came to the White House and acted like a jerk, and he got dressed down by J.D. Vance and Brian Glenn. Remember that? Marjorie Taylor Greene's fiance. And he screwed up. If he would have done what he said he was going to do and signed the mineral deal, the war would have, I don't even, how many thousands of people would be alive today on both sides, but the war would have been over. He would have kept a lot more of Ukraine, and now the war's lost. He was coming in. It's basically almost a surrender. That's it. But Trump said he wouldn't meet with him again unless it was, they had the deal. So a lot of people are saying they must be really, really close. I don't know. Zelensky's unpredictable because we really don't know who controls Zelensky. I wonder where he's going to live in exile when this is all over. I would not be surprised if Zelensky relocated to the United States. It'd be safe, it'd probably be safer for him here than in Switzerland. But he's got billions of dollars stashed away of our money. Well, some big rich billionaires control Zelensky. He's not really in control, but Trump's fed up with him. He messed up, and the war's been lost by Ukraine. You can't beat Russia. Cannot beat Russia. too big, too overwhelming. And Ukraine's been on a defense the whole time. You can't win a war on defense for years. It's over. And if he doesn't come to a deal, they've already lost. It's just the final battle hasn't been won. Eventually, they're going to lose it all, or there's going to be a nuclear war in Europe, and everybody loses. That's right. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. My name's Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. It's 62 degrees out here this morning, which is the dead of winter for us here in sunny South Florida. Hopefully I don't know what the high today is going to be. But that's it. I mean, President Trump's done with Zelensky. Zelensky lied to him about the mineral deal, and that was it. He had the whole thing ready to go. 62 is freezing in Florida numbers. Now, I'm waiting for Walmart to open. I got to get a couple things at Walmart. That is freezing for us in Florida, no doubt about it. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, usually I'm in my studio, and then I'm taking live calls. So, but make sure you catch my podcast from over the weekend. And if you've not listened to my Christmas 4-hour live stream, check that out, too. It's some great calls and conversations. The Christmas show has President Trump is dressed up as Santa Claus in the thumbnail. Welcome to everyone. It's just a mess, but this Nick Shirley reporting, here you got Nick Shirley. He's got he's got a little DJI mic, a couple bodyguards, an iPhone, and a guy that's got some computer printouts of the Somalia daycare funding from the state of Minnesota. And he broke the biggest story of our lifetimes. That was the biggest investigative report of any of our lifetimes. The only thing that comes close to it, of course, is the Acorn scandal by James O'Keefe, but this was bigger than that. And 71 million on X have seen it. Yeah, it's game-changing. Game-changing. Barry Weiss should at least do an interview with Nick Shirley. But there's ICE is on the move in Minnesota. I wouldn't be surprised if we woke up one day and saw that Ilhan Omar had fled the country with her $30 million, right? I read a story today that Ilhan Omar's husband had purged their website of a lot of their connections and people they work with and entities they work with. So they're in the shredding stage of their operation. I assumed that when she married this guy that he was rich. He wasn't. He was not a wealthy man, Ilhan Omar's. He is now because of her. But no, he was not. She did not marry a rich man. She married a man who became the front man for this fake venture capitalist company he's got going on. It's a joke. Now, yesterday morning, I didn't talk about this on the live stream yesterday because I just forgot, but yesterday morning, I go into the Starbucks, which is like 4 doors down from where I'm at. And I'm streaming in front of a restaurant that doesn't open till lunchtime right now, but there's in the strip center there's all kinds of stuff, and there's a guy was in there right before me. I'm usually the first customer, but I was the second customer yesterday, and he's waiting for his coffee. I order, I'm waiting, so there's me and this guy waiting for our coffee, and 2 girls working in there, and 2 cops, 2 police cruisers pull up, lights off real fast in a kind of like a V formation, and right in front of the Starbucks. And I didn't say anything because I didn't know what was going on. I thought to myself, well, this guy over here that's waiting for his coffee, he was kind of scruffy looking, but I'm kind of scruffy looking too at this hour of the morning, especially on the weekends. I said, they're here to grab somebody, and I know I don't have any warrants, so it's got to be this guy, right? And so I didn't say anything when they came in because his back was turned. He didn't see the cops. So I figured they were coming in to grab him. And because I've seen him around here before, so he's a regular at the time on the weekend. And they come in, and the girl at Starbucks said, "Oh, the guy's gone. He left." And apparently, what had happened is there was a break-in of a cell phone store, and they around 4 o'clock in the morning, the day before yesterday. They still have plywood on the front of the door, and some guy broke into the cell phone store. I don't know what he got, and then he tried to break into another business, and he got away. He got away. They didn't get him, and they saw him. The Starbucks workers, they came in. It was like at 4 in the morning. They're in there working, prepping to open it. They open at 5 a.m. and they saw the guy, so they called the cops. So the guy was gone. They said okay, and they left. The cops left, and so they weren't coming. And when they came in, and she told them what happened, I told the cops. I said, I saw you pull up there. I figure you're look like you're getting ready to grab somebody, And so anyway, the cops left, and the scruffy guy that I thought they might be after, because there were only two of us in there, and it had to be him or me, and I knew it wasn't me. He said to the girl, how long ago did you call them? Because we'd been there for a few minutes. And she said 35 minutes. 35 minutes. And 35 minutes. This is a really, I'm not going to tell you exactly where I'm at. And if you know where I'm at, don't say, okay? But this is a really nice area where I'm at. And with, like, very little crime. I was shocked that they had a break-in of the cell phone store. And what were they doing that took them 35 minutes to get here at 5 o'clock in the morning? What the hell? And I said to the start, because they know me, because I go in there every day. I said, 35 minutes. They know you're here by yourself. They know it's usually girls that are working here. You call at 4:30 in the morning. It takes them 35 minutes to get here. What the hell? I know. Pretty bad. And we all support our police, I guess, but, a lot of cops are, Democrats. If it's good enough for government work. Oh, I'm not going to start giving landmarks of where I'm at. Are you kidding me? That'd be nuts. Now, and unfortunately it's Starbucks. Starbucks does not allow you to carry. So even though we have open carry here in the state of Florida, you can't open or conceal carry inside a Starbucks unless you're a police officer. But the other guy that I thought they might be picking up, he said to the girls when he left, he says, next time there's a suspicious character, call me. He says, I'll be here faster than the cops. Like, exactly. Oh my goodness. I told the girls, I said, everybody, we could be dead and the place could be robbed, and then they get here and there's just, dead people lying around. What the hell? Whatever. The police in this town made another big mistake too on their response time, but I don't want to share what that is, or it'll reveal where I'm at. But if you know where I am, don't say, guys. But that's it. So Trump's supposed to meet with Zelensky today, unless it's changed. I didn't see any stories today that it's been called off. So I'm curious because I'm curious how they handle it. Like when Netanyahu came to Mar-a-Lago, it was a security, unbelievable event. So they even landed him. They landed him at an airport that is not the close airport where the president lands. Netanyahu landed at a alternative airport and drove I-95 to Mar-a-Lago, and it was a bit of a drive, and it was carried live on television because they wanted to throw off the anything. So I'm curious what happens with Zelensky. I was going to go to the airport, but the security is going to be so high, you really can't get anywhere near it. And I don't like to go up and show the, I don't like to show the security that they have up there. And he may even land at an alternate airport like Netanyahu. There's several alternate airport locations. So I'm not going to go to the airport to see Zelensky because I don't know for sure what airport he's going to go to. And even if I did, they're not going to let you anywhere near. Will Zelensky cave? I mean, he should do whatever Trump tells him to do. He screwed up. The war is lost. Ukraine has lost the war. The war's been lost. Do you guys agree with? I mean, there's no way. There's no way. It's been lost by Ukraine. No getting around it. It's so cold, not even the joggers are out. The joggers are usually out here already. The joggers meet on Sundays out here, but none of them are out here. Well, maybe because it's the weekend after Christmas. There's no holidays for me. I'll be here all week, including New Year's Day. When I was young, New Year's Eve and all that was a big deal, but it's just a number now to me. I don't care. What am I wrong on? That Ukraine has not lost the war? The war is unwinnable by Ukraine, and it's been lost. Russia, Russia's strategy. See, people don't understand. There may be a greater loss of life by Russia, so far as troop numbers, but Russia has been using fighters from North Korea for quite some time. So while they may have lost more, a lot of them are Koreans. Russia, they had a strategy during the Second World War that was a very effective strategy. Russia is a massive country. Back in those days of the Soviet Union, when I was a kid, the Soviet Union comprised 1/3 of the Earth's land was the Soviet Union. Imagine that. Now, I don't know what percentage Russia proper is today, but 1/3 of the land of the world was the Soviet Union. Isn't that crazy? Why do you think Putin wants to get the Soviet Union back together? They're the biggest country in the world by far. But anyway, what their strategy was in the early days was they were in a retreat mode and burning everything that they left behind. So Russia has a history of playing a long game when it comes to war, and they win by just wearing the other side down. Germany was a small country in comparison to the Soviet Union, and they just wore them down. And and they're using a similar strategy with Ukraine. Mm-hmm. And Russia really is using restraint. They could go in and take everything, but they're wearing them down. It's just the strategy. And and the history of Russia, they have so many people and so much land. They really don't value the losses. They don't care. But believe me, Putin still feels humiliated from the Soviet loss of Afghanistan and also the fall of the Soviet Union and losing Eastern Europe and all of that. He's in for the long game here. Ukraine just needs to sign the damn paper that Trump puts in front of Zelensky and get it over with. And that's it. And then they need to get a new leader yesterday, because Zelensky is a poison person. He's a terrible person, Zelensky. He could go back to acting. Maybe they could sweeten the pot and give him a Netflix series and get back to acting. Mm-hmm. He might like that. They'd probably give him a damn Oscar. Get her done. Exactly. Make sure you subscribe, guys. If you're new to the channel, this is where MAGA comes to talk. Oh, man. No, 5:39 a.m., 62 degrees. Oh, my goodness. We don't move to Florida to have this kind of freezing weather. Oh, there's a bus. Is Richie driving? No. Well, Putin, he told that, Putin and NATO, Putin told that story about how Clinton was ready to let Russia join NATO. The NATO alliance serves no purpose now. There's too many countries in it. All these former Soviet republics that are in it, or countries that were behind the Iron Curtain that are in it. There's just too many conflicts with NATO. The enemy of the United States is not Russia or communism, and I don't think it ever was. I just think they wanted to keep the military-industrial complex going. We defeated the Nazis with them. The sacrifice that the Soviet Union gave on the Eastern Front are massive. And if they weren't on the other side, that war would have gone on a lot longer. It would have. Second World War, a lot longer. And then all of a sudden, the next day, we're enemies. Come on. Total fabrication. And what our enemies are today is pretty simple. China and the Islamic world. And they both have major offensive operations going on in this country that are successful. Patton wanted to attack Russia. Well, he was a general. Didn't hold office. Patton was at the time, he was the richest man in the Army. Imagine that. He was the richest man in the Army. He was very wealthy. I don't subscribe to the... I read Bill O'Reilly's book about Patton years ago. I don't subscribe to that theory that he was assassinated by the Russians. I don't subscribe to it. I think it was just a car accident. Europe should pay their share and defend themselves. Europe is fine. I know Ukraine is in Europe, but, Ukraine and Russia is a civil war. From the get-go, I said that. It's a civil war from Putin's perspective. It was part of the Soviet Union. That's it. I mean, if the state of Georgia left the Union, think we'd let it? Abraham Lincoln said states can't leave the Union. Right? That's why we had the Civil War. Can't just leave the Union. And that's his position, right or wrong, with Ukraine. No, I don't agree with Putin. It's just not our business. It's just not our business. Why should we have anything to do with that? My goodness. We got to take, we got to take back Minnesota from the Somalian colony that's taken over. Hold on. All right, back. Putin isn't right or wrong. It's none of our concern. That's it. None of our concern. That's the way it is. Yeah, good MAGA morning. Subscribe if you're new, guys. Now, if you missed the beginning of the stream, make sure you rewind from the beginning where I covered Tucker and what's going on with Tucker. I'm not going to... Please explain 2028. We need President Trump for 2 more terms. We need him in 28 and 32. I want President Trump to run again and win for a third term. I mean, Nick Shirley's reporting of the Somali Tim Walz corruption in Minnesota is enough to show that we need a Trump third term, isn't it? Well, things are unconstitutional until they're not. You change the laws, man. It can be done. I love how all these, when it comes to Trump 2028, all these leftists talk about it's unconstitutional, the Constitution, like it's a sacred document to them all of a sudden. I've been hearing my whole life a couple things from liberals. Until you hear Trump 2028, this is what I've heard my whole life. One, the Constitution is not relevant today. It was written by white, racist slave owners for the purpose of maintaining white supremacy. Now it's a sacred document to these liberals. Or here's another one. You've heard this one too, right? From liberals. Oh, the Constitution's a living, breathing document that grows with the times and changes with the seasons. Now all of a sudden it's ironclad. Well, it's been amended 27 times. So it can be changed again. The only thing that liberals are consistent with is they're consistently inconsistent. That's about it. Consistently inconsistent. No question. Well, everyone's a fiscal conservative if they got money. No one wants to give their money away, right? Who wants to do that? Exactly. Yeah, welcome. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. And if you guys could take my videos and share them on all your socials and be part of my marketing team, that would be amazing. Absolutely. Well, but, hopefully Zelensky will do what he's got to do. I mean, at some point, you got to admit the war is lost. Do you think it was easy for General Lee to surrender to Grant? And they had more of a chance than Zelensky had. Stephen Miller's awesome. Maybe he could be chief of staff in Trump's third term. What do you guys think? Stephen Miller, he's deputy chief of staff now. He could be the chief of staff. I'd like to see Stephen Miller as the White House press spokesperson, actually. He does great press conferences in there. I love it when Stephen Miller heads up a press conference in the briefing room. Oh, man. It's amazing. There was nothing constitutional about women getting the vote until they did, right? Barron Trump in 2034. No, he won't be old enough in 2034. You got to be 35 to run for president and be president. Well, you can run, I guess, at 34 as long as you turn 35 by the time you assume office. So you got to be 35 to be president. I think it's, if I remember correctly, it's 25 for the House, 30 for the Senate, and 35 for president, correct? If I remember correctly. But I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. Now, this is a ghost town out here. I'm all alone, just you people and me. And plus, they had all this criminal activity going on here this weekend, so I'm a little on alert. Yep, that's right. The 21st Amendment repealed the 18th Amendment. Prohibition, that is correct. Very, very true. Denmark, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yep, see, I was right. See? Tired of Zelensky? Yep. Trump is fed up with Zelensky. He's done with Zelensky. I mean, he really is. If Zelensky doesn't agree to whatever deal Trump has put together at this point, you know. And look at this idiot, Carney in Canada. Gave him more money yesterday for nothing, just to prolong the war. It's completely insane. You know, Nick Shirley, that reporting that Nick Shirley did with the Somali corruption in Minnesota was just amazing. Just amazing. It's really scary what's happened to Minnesota, isn't it? It really, truly is. We will win. Trump will win the midterms if we have a high turnout. You know, we can win it. It's ours to lose. If we have a massive turnout, like it's a presidential year, we'll swamp them. We got to swamp them at the polls. We'll win. Most of the country are on Trump's side. There's no reason not to win the midterms. The only thing that can stop us from winning the midterms is listening to all of these fake MAGA people saying that we're going to lose, or these fence sitters and cowards who are saying the Democrats are going to win. If we, no, we got to go in. If we have a massive turnout, we will win. There's more of us than them. That's it. That's right. I guess this is kind of like the last day for Christmas vacation for a lot of people, so there's usually a lot more people around than there are right now. No? Call me delusional if you want, but that's true. We can, if we have a high turnout, we will win. The Democrats will lose. I mean, what are the Democrats even proposing? Why are the Democrats saying vote for them? What is the Democrat platform today? They don't even have a platform. Really? What's the Democrat agenda right now? Vote for us. We pledge to allow thievery among the Somali community of Minnesota to continue. Right? I mean, what are they running on? Exactly. No one knows. They have no platform. You know, my podcast yesterday morning on the crime rates, watch my podcast yesterday morning. It is President Trump with the crime stats in the thumbnail. I break those down on the podcast. Don't miss it. No, the Democrats have no party platform. What do they stand for? Vote for us because, and then fill in the blank. The Democrats are saying, vote for us because, and then fill in the blank. That's right. We're going to overturn, we're going to bring back taxes on tips. We're going to bring back taxes on overtime. What are they running on? Exactly. They got nothing. Nothing. If you've got no agenda, no platform, can't run on that. Yeah. No. What are they running on? To allow cocaine and heroin to be smuggled into the country? Vote for us. If you want to put the drug cartels back in business and the human traffickers and the coyotes at the southern border, come on. They've got no platform, no agenda, no policy. Mm-hmm. No one should debate Jasmine Crockett. I wouldn't give her the credibility of a debate. She's desperate for a debate. So she can just sit up there and play the race card for the hour that they debate. That's all she wants to do. She's smarter than Jasmine Crockett? All right, tell yourself that. She is very desperate. Desperate. No question. The congresswoman without a district. She's only running for the Senate so she can be relevant until she loses. I'd like to see her lose the primary. Oh, that'd be great. But she might win the primary. Who knows? I don't know who they've got running against her. But Texas is a strong red state. Have you all subscribed? Make sure you do. No, It's not gerrymandering. The party in power always redistricts. When the Democrats are in power in a state, the party that's in power at the state government in every one of the 50 states redistricts to benefit themselves. That's what they all do. It's the way it's done. You know, she stands for nothing. Her and Fannie Willis. Yep, that's right. Hey, now. I don't know. I don't care what's in her closet. Just she's a poison person, Jasmine Crockett. She offers nothing. All right, guys. Well, listen. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. My name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'll talk to you next time.